Hey everyone, welcome to another edition of PowerCore Productions and Podcastings. And in today's video, we are going to be continuing My Hero Academia, Heroes of the Morphing Grid, What If Deku Was a Power Ranger, the Psycho Wars Arc, Part 16. As always, if you're new to the channel or if you're a regular and like what we have to offer, then please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share, and hit that bell for post notifications so you can stay up to date on everything that is PowerCore Productions and Podcastings that has to come out now and in the future. Where we last left off with our series, Izuku and company continue their fight against the villains as the all-out assault against the League of Villains continues. Tomura Shigaraki, not only is he awakened, but he also comes with sinister ranger powers in the form of the Psycho powers. Psycho Ranger Green now goes on a rampage, which results in the brutal injury of Katsuki Bakugo. And as Izuku finds himself confronted with his other half, how will this play out within the dimensional space, as both hero and villain are connected to the morphing grid and all the secrets that lie within? Will the heroes be able to overcome the obstacles, including a dark secret that's brought to light? For all this and more, stay tuned as we now continue. What If Deku Was a Power Ranger, Heroes of the Morphing Grid, The Psycho Wars, Part 16. As always, sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. For Izuku, time and everything else stood still in that moment, as he was left floating in the air, watching as his friend, Katsuki Bakugo, had demorphed from his Red Ranger state, having been stabbed through the abdomen by Shigaraki as he fell to the ground, although thankfully caught at the last moment by the likes of Todoroki, Endeavor being caught as well by his son, as now only the two green figures were left standing, battered, bruised, their uniforms almost torn to shreds, hanging on to whatever morphing power they could muster. Psycho Green and Dragon Green. Shigaraki, underneath the cracked visor of the Psycho Ranger form, would look towards the cracked visor of Izuku. That's what happens when your friend mistakes foolishness for bravery. Izuku snapped, hearing that. As much as he strived to be a hero, every hero has his breaking point. And for Izuku, the villains had managed to push it, as he went barreling towards Shigaraki, beating him with every fiber that he had. How dare you! How dare you make fun of him like that! He's giving it his all, but you treat this like it's nothing but a game! That's because it is, my friend. This whole world is one sick, twisted game. And for you, it's game over. I thought I told you not to interfere, Master. Come on now, Shigaraki. You should be more wiser than this. You're going to need all the help you can get. If it wasn't for me and for my actions up until now, with the use of my abilities, you would have been dead a long time ago. If you truly want to claim one for all, then you will need to muster all of your hate. That is the only way to break through the barrier. In that moment of time and space, Shigaraki and Izuku found themselves in another realm, another plane of existence, outside of the time and the space that they existed in. Izuku could hardly move or stand, and Shigaraki, who felt as though he were becoming an amalgamation of himself and of the consciousness of all for one. Brother, Look at what you've managed to accomplish. And here I thought that you would always remain useless forever. But you've managed to impress me. However, you are nothing but a vestige that clings on to a merely meager existence. Izuku would be even more shocked within this realm as someone else had arrived. Nana Shigaraki. It seems the pathetic always know how to come out of the woodworks, moving in droves. All for one, Nana would say. I never thought that you would go this far. Then it shows that you truly did not know me at all, Nana. Tell me, what has being a hero gotten you? In the end, you and the other fools that came before, you were nothing more but a nuisance that I managed to squash. In the end, you put all of your faith, all of your hopes onto a child. Why? Because you were not strong enough to deal with me yourself? In the end, even your apprentice, All Might, the best he could do was delay the inevitable. Not one user has managed to kill me. And, as impressive as your new champion might be, in the end I've chosen someone of better stock. You took him away. No, that's where you're wrong. I didn't take him away. I merely picked up what the world cast aside. It's funny. You heroes say that you will always be there, except you're never around for the ones that need you the most. And yet somehow the broken and the downtrodden find their way back to me. Funny how life works, isn't it? Tomura, how do you feel about the matter? It makes no difference. Why should I care about a woman that I never met? But take comfort, grandmother. I hate you just as much as I hate everyone. And I'll make sure that you fade away into the nothing. As Shigaraki prepared to move closer towards Izuku, he would be stopped. All for One would be surprised. The soul of his brother also emerged, but not just him. More vestiges would appear, but these were not the ones connected to One for All, but rather they were connected to something else even greater than that. The Rangers. Standing behind them, Samurai Ranger Gold, Zeo Ranger Gold, the White Tiger Ranger, Time Force, Quantum Ranger, Magna Defender, Solaris Knight, Silver Space Ranger, among others, the Phantom Ranger, Blue Centurion, and among them all, the Green Dragon Ranger. So, these are the inner workings of the Morphing Grid. Power of 6. What? I'm connected to them? Of course you are, the Green Ranger would say to Izuku. The Morphing Grid connects all Rangers across all time and dimension. You do not stand alone. Even if we are not from this world, the other Rangers would speak. We stand for the side of good, to protect all world from evil. And now Izuku is the one who will carry on that will. As long as we are connected, we will fight with One for All. If you want to get to him, You will have to get through all of us. A dark energy would form around Shigaraki. Voices of evil beginning to seep in further. But there was one that was stronger than the rest. It seems we must cut this short, Shigaraki. And it also seems that there is a darker side to the Morphing Grid, one that even our rangers are not aware of. The last thing I need is his body becoming overcrowded. Best to withdraw for now. I don't care about any of you, Shigaraki would speak. In the end, I am the master. I am the one in control. And I will not lose. As quickly as it occurred, the dreamlike state would end, as the two would awaken back to the real world. In the meantime, with the thanks to Melissa using the White Tiger Megazord, she had managed to slow down Makima to a great degree. The amount of time it would have taken them to cause his rampage had slowed, and for the most part, the city had thankfully remained intact. However, with Nobu City being on its primary trajectory, there was only but so long the one Zord could hold out. Melissa holding onto the controls with Saba in tow. Guys, I'm gonna need some help here, Melissa would say. Melissa, what's your status? She would hear her voice of her uncle. Uncle All Might? Is that you? Yes, I'm still here at the tower, giving you any assistance that we can. What's your status? Mount Lily had to disperse to heal up. I'm using the White Tiger Zord to slow down Makima. He seems to be heading his way straight to Nobu City. The League of Villains, their members, they're attached. They also have ranger powers. We've been made aware. It seems they've managed to tap into the Morphing Grid somehow. For now, you're going to have to hold out as long as you can until the others can assist. They're still working on the evacuation. Are they almost done? Almost. With the Zords, they're getting out the civilians a lot faster. Just a few more trips and the whole city should be clear, meaning there won't be any casualties. Try to hold out for as long as you can. Right. I'll buy her some time. Another voice would emerge. The saber-toothed Tiger Zord would come running in. Momo Yaoyorozu. And she was furious. Momo, All Might would say. You've left from the high ground, haven't you? Yes. I had to drop off the others and move as quickly as I could. I was carrying others and they were too injured to keep going, so I left them at a medical station. I'll try to help buy Melissa as much time as we can. If the Zords can be united, we can have extra firepower on our side. Understood. You girls be careful and do what you can. The other Rangers would be briefed on what was happening. Uraraka now had to manage the Zords on her own, as Ida would take off to join Izuku and the others. Thankfully, they had a special mode ready for this sort of occasion. You see, under normal circumstances, Ranger Zords have to actually be used by the Rangers they're assigned to. Although, in special or in extenuating circumstances, control can be given to other Rangers to use Zords that aren't originally theirs. This is known as the Master Control function. And safe to say, Uraraka was at her wit's end. With Ida now leaving, Uraraka now had to use the Master Control for multiple Zords, not just her own. The Green Dragon, the Blue Triceratops, the Red Tyrannosaurus, the Black Mastodon. She had to operate all of these, using the voice-over commands to get the Zords to move in such a way that she needed. Thankfully, the Zords were big and large enough to carry multiple pockets of civilians, getting them to outposts and other safety zones. The Zords were moving around the clock with little to no break, and thankfully, it was because of all of this that they were able to get the civilians out a lot faster than before, although even for Uraraka, she was at her limit. Thankfully, the Pterodactyl Zord would arrive, ready to carry the last of the civilians out of Nobu City. With the civilians now being evacuated and the few stragglers being helped along by the other heroes, most of the city was now entirely clear. It was basically a ghost town at this point. Uraraka, the Pink Ranger, along with Froppy, the Frog Hero, would continue moving about the city, trying to find anyone who had been harmed. When an older woman would appear calling for assistance, Uraraka would go to help the elderly woman, moving within the corridors of the large buildings, moving into an apartment complex, while Froppy would continue her search elsewhere. As Uraraka ran behind, she couldn't help but get a sinking feeling within her stomach, almost as if she were in danger and she didn't realize it. At the last moment, the elderly woman would turn with a blade, Uraraka just being able to dodge and move back to create space. The older woman's body beginning to melt away, showing its true form. Hey, Gravity. How you been? Toga, what are you? I came here to talk. Just you and me. I was hoping you would have brought Sue along, but oh well. What is the meaning of this? Toga would flip her morpher into the air. There's been something that's been on my mind. I just can't seem to let it go. You heroes, you truly are amusing. But there's something I really don't get. You say you want to save everyone, but you wouldn't even spare my friend. So tell me, if you're a hero, then what are your intentions? Sparks of pink would fly through the room as the Psycho Pink Ranger, carrying her two twin daggers, would lunge towards Uraraka. Uraraka using her power bow to block both of the blades before pushing back to create space as the two engaged in a battle. Uraraka would use her bow to shoot pink energy arrows towards Toga. Toga blocking them with the immense speed granted to her by the power of her psycho powers. Along with that, she also had capsules of blood that she could use alongside with her ranger powers, only making her more dangerous. You know, I was really in a pinch not too long ago. There was this old lady who looked at me like she thought I was crazy. She didn't understand a thing about me. But I had love. Love for you and for Izuku also. And because of that, not only can I mimic your form, but your powers. I sent her and all her friends into the air, and then I dropped them to the ground, and I killed them! Shut up! Uraraka would move towards her, only to be flung away, as Toga was able to grab something from her utility belt, an All Might keychain. Give that back! Why should I? I take it it's important to you, Incident? You used my power. You used my face to kill! So what? Why does it matter to you? Why does it matter? Do you even hear yourself? I thought so. No one ever listens to... That's not the point! We are not gods! We're only human. But you don't seem to get that! Toga. Toga would look back towards Uraraka as Uraraka's anger began to flare. I am sorry about what happened to you in your past. Really, I am. But what right does that give you to hurt others? People who had nothing to do with it. all you do is cause pain for everyone else. And then you want to play the victim. You use your past to define you. That's the difference between me and you. You stay caught up in the past. You refuse to move on, to try to be better. Instead of trying to prove people wrong, instead of trying to make true friends, you think that friendship is being able to do whatever you want and people should just accept it. That's not being a friend. That's being selfish. That's truly evil and despicable. I'm going to save people, and I am going to stop you. Uraraka would use her quirk, using the armbands around her wrist and using her power of zero gravity. She would be able to pick up all of the debris around her, smashing it into Psycho Pink over and over again, before finally using her bow to pin her to the ground, as Toga, even under her helmet, would be given her answer. I see. So you're not gonna save me after all. At least I know where you stand. You know, I thought me and you could have been friends. We could have bonded over our same feelings. And I thought maybe we could understand one another. But you know what? I'll be happy to kill you. Froppy would jump into the room to provide assistance. However, Toga would use the cover of the distraction to escape, as Uraraka and Froppy would leave. With Nobu City now entirely evacuated and secured, the empty city, now a barren wasteland, would become a battlefield. In the meantime, Izuku and the others would continue to hold their own. Ida would arrive, along with other heroes to assist. The Blue Ranger Tenya Ida, moving using the power of the Triceratops as his defense, smashing into multiple Nomu all around him, while Nejire would assist as well. The heroes were trying to hold their own, to hold off for dear life, as they felt a huge rumbling coming towards them. The White Tiger Zord would be sent flying, along with the Saber-toothed Tiger Zord as well. Oh no, Izuku would say. Melissa, Momo, are you guys alright? Oh, yeah, just in a lot of pain. I still can't believe the sedative hasn't worked, Momo would say. We haven't been able to slow it down. Quick, Momo, Ida would say. I need you to take Izuku and get him out of here. With your Zord, you should be able to get far. No, don't! He's after me because of One for All. You guys know that. If I leave, he's just gonna come after all of us. I have to stay. Just get Bakugo and Endeavor out of here. Right. We'll have to hold him off for as long as we can, Todoroki would say. If Uraraka were here, we could get use of our Zords, but she's the only one with master control at the moment. How far are they away? It'll take some time for them to get here. We'll just have to hold off till then. Against this giant thing? I don't know what we can do. As Makia would arrive, still being restrained somewhat, but still looking to gain control, Dabi would now seize his opportunity. Dabi would douse his hair, revealing that the black was nothing but an illusion. His hair color was truly white. The burnt and scarred villain had brought Skeptic along for a specific reason. A video recording that was set to air all across Japan. A video that would reveal some uncomfortable truths. For one, Dabi was not his name. No, that wasn't the name he was given at birth. It's the one he adopted, yes, but he used to be known by something else. Toya Todoroki. The failed son of the hero Endeavor. A hero who was so obsessed with catching up to All Might, who couldn't settle for being number 2. So much so that he forced a woman into marriage, just so that he could bear a proper child, one who could surpass All Might. Unfortunately, the first few children, well, in his eyes, they all turned out to be failures. But his youngest, Shoto, he was the perfect mix. And now, he had gone on to become a hero. In fact, the old man even managed to get that number 1 title. Toya would laugh as Endeavor was hit with the cold reality. What's the matter, old man? You look like you've seen a ghost. Although, I must say, when I'm done, you'll have a lot of those to keep you company. But, would you look around? Let's give it up for the number 1 hero, everybody. Give him a round of applause. Love what you've done with the place. So tell me, how does it feel to finally have that coveted position? After all, you weren't good enough to beat All Might, so I guess you have to settle with the sloppy seconds. But I digress. Did you enjoy that first Nomu you had on your first day on the job? I sent that there for you. I was almost worried you would have died. Seriously, I was concerned about you. But you know, I knew you'd pull through. You're a stubborn old man. I knew something like that wouldn't take you down, but it left a hell of a scar. But in either case, this is the product of your sins. Everything you've ever done, every decision you've ever made, the way you hurt Mom, the way you treated everybody else, what you did to poor little Shoto, warping his little naive mind. And now I gotta kill my own brother. Not gonna lie, that kinda stings. But tell me, how does it feel? Your greatest success is gonna get killed by your greatest failure. But don't worry, I promise, I won't let you die so easily, old man. I'm gonna give you a front row seat so that you can see everything you've done. You're gonna watch this damn city, this country, burn to the ground. And then, when it's all over, you and me, we can go dance in hell together. You and I, burning away. How does that sound, Endeavor? Well, go on. Don't just sit there with that wide open face looking like a dumbass. You always had something to say. Well, no time to be shy. Go on. Get to talking. You're not gonna say anything. Oh. Dabi would grin wickedly. It's morphing time. Psycho Ranger Black. Dad. Shoto would look to his father, who couldn't move. That night, he thought his son was dead. He spent days trying to find him. And he had been here all this time, and he couldn't see it. He was truly a failure. As a hero, as a man, as a father, as a human being. Dad, we'll deal with this later. You have to get up. He's coming. See you in hell. Prominence. Burn. However, before his attack could land, the villains would all be caught at once, as large cords would wrap around them. Cords of thread. From high in the sky, the number 3 hero, Best Genus, would make himself present. You villains, You think that you can shake the foundation of heroes, that you can turn the people against us. I'll admit, your plan was almost flawless, but you haven't won yet. What? How are you still alive? Hawks killed you. I saw the body. You saw what we wanted you to see. So what? Even if Hawks didn't kill you, my story is still true. It doesn't absolve you heroes of a damn thing. Dobby would break free of the threads, the black Psycho Ranger using his blue flames, as he would be met by the Black Ranger, the combination of half hot and half cold. The battle seemed like a free-for-all. More heroes were joining into the fray, along with the likes of the high-end Nomu that seemed to be never ending in sight. All seemed lost until the hero known as Lemillion would arrive. Miro had managed to get his powers back. With the help of Eri, who had been training with her rewind quirk, Mirio, the once known hero Lemillion, who promised to save 1 million people, had been reborn into the world. As he used his power of permeation, he would take the fight to the high-end Nomu. Everyone was giving it their all. Izuku watching on. Even in his battered state, he knew he still had to fight. However, Shigaraki had demorphed. He wasn't moving. And to make matters worse, Makia was starting to be restrained. Uraraka had finally arrived as she joined with the others. Guys, I'm here! Uraraka! The Rangers would all join up because they knew it was time. Izuku leading them, ready to take the fight to the villains. This is our chance! We have to stop this! Here and now! Right! Tyrannosaurus, Mastodon, Pterodactyl, Saber-toothed Tiger, Tyrannosaurus, Dragon Zord! The Zords would all be called together. The White Tiger Megazord standing, ready for another round, and Melissa ready to keep going in the fight. The 5 primary Zords would join together to form the Megazord, and the Dragon Zord was in full force. The Megazord and the White Tiger Megazord would hold down Makia, keeping the giant from moving, as the sedatives that had been used by Momo were finally starting to kick in, keeping the larger beast sedated. With the Dragon Zord, it used its drilling tail to spike it further into the ground, as the 3 Zords would hold it in place. In the meantime, while the Zords were in motion, the Rangers would leave it on autopilot, now giving master control over to Melissa. Out of all of them, she was the best when it came to tech and other works. However, she wouldn't be alone. From the command center, All Might would also take control using the Master Control lock. With All Might using Master Control, he could control the standard Megazord. Melissa would use the White Tiger Zord, and Alpha would use his power to help pilot the Dragon Zord. The Rangers would all gather together, now feeling as though the tide of the battle was turning. Dobby, the Black Psycho Ranger. Toga, the Psycho Pink Ranger. Spinner, the Psycho Red Ranger. Mr. Compress, the Psycho Blue Ranger. Shigaraki, the fallen Psycho Green, still lying unconscious and unmoving, as his allies would form a protective circle around him. If you want to get to him, you're gonna have to go through us. Bakugo readied himself. Fine with me. I'm ready to blow you extras all to hell. Izuku would take the lead. The 6 Rangers staring down the 4. The fighting and the chaos that ensued around them, with the battle lines now being drawn. This is your last chance, Izuku would say. Give up and stand down, or we'll make you, Todoroki would say. You think so, little bro? If you think you got the balls to do it, then why don't you come try us? The heroes and the villains. Two sides, two goals, two ideologies. In the end, only one could be left standing. And the one that was would determine the fate of the world. The time for talk was over. In the end, heroes and villains. Only one can stand, and the other must fall. This concludes My Hero Academia, Heroes of the Morphing Grid, Part 16, the Psycho Wars arc. Stay tuned for tomorrow's video as we continue Naruto DxD. What if Naruto was in high school DxD? Season 4, Part 3. But anyway, that's going to do it for the end of today's video. I'm Javon Harrington with PowerCore Productions and Podcastings. Signing off, and I'll see you next time.